De Administrando Imperio is the Latin title of a Greek work written by the 10th century Eastern Roman Emperor Constantine Vite. The Greek title of the work is I circumflex I umlaut acute 1/2 sedillari umlaut I umlaut acute 1/2 sedillari circumflex 1/2 acute 1/4 I circumflex acute accent I circumflex superscript 1 I circumflex inverted question mark I circumflex 1/2 I umlaut acute 1/4 plus or minus acute 1/2 sedillari circumflex 1/2 I circumflex inverted exclamation point I umlaut I circumflex 1/4 I circumflex plus or minus I circumflex 1/2 I umlaut I circumflex 1/2. It is a domestic and foreign policy manual for the use of Constantine's son and successor, the Emperor Romanos II. Constantine was a scholar emperor who sought to foster learning and education in the Eastern Roman Empire. He produced many other works, including De Ceremoniis, a treatise on the etiquette and procedures of the imperial court, and a biography of his grandfather, Basil I. De Administrando Imperio, was written between 948 and 952. It contains advice on running the ethnically mixed empire as well as fighting foreign enemies. The work combines two of Constantine's earlier treatises on the governance of the state and the various nations, concerning the histories and characters of the nations neighbouring the empire, including the Turks, Pechenegs, Kievan Rus, South Slavs, Arabs, Lombards, Armenians, and Georgians, and on the themes of East and West, concerning recent events in the imperial provinces. To this combination were added Constantine's own political instructions to his son Romanus. As to the historical and geographic information, which is often confusing and filled with legends, this information is in essence reliable. The historical and antiquarian treatise, which the emperor had compiled during the 940s, is contained in the chapters 1240. This treatise contains traditional and legendary stories of how the territories surrounding the empire came in the past to be occupied by the people living in them in the emperor's times. Chapters 18, 10, 12 explain imperial policy toward the Pechenegs and Turks. Chapter 13 is a general directive on foreign policy coming from the emperor. Chapters 43-46 are about contemporary policy in the northeast. The guides to the incorporation and taxation of new imperial provinces, and to some parts of civil and naval administration, are in chapters 49-52. These later chapters were designed to give practical instructions to the Emperor Romanus II, and are probably added during the year 951 A circumflex 52, in order to mark Romanus's 14th birthday. Because De Administrando Imperio is one of the rare primary sources describing the medieval history of the Balkans, its text has been extensively analyzed by historians, sometimes concentrating on just a few sentences. Historians J. B. Berry in 1906, Gav. Romanidlovir in 1910, and Ljudmila Hauptmann in 1931 through 1942 published comprehensive analyses of the entirety of De Administrando Imperio, which showed that it was written as a set of files, each concentrating on different topics, dating from various time periods, that was subsequently redacted several times, causing the interpretation of the resulting text to vary significantly. The book's three similar but different accounts of the arrival of the Croats have confounded numerous historians since the 19th century. Historian Barbara M. Krutz described the report found in the De Administrando Imperio that the Byzantines played a major role in the 871 fall of the Emirate of Bari as a probable concoction. The earliest surviving copy was made by John Douker's confidential secretary, Michael, in the late 11th century. This manuscript was copied in 1509 by Anthony Eparchus. This copy, known as V = Codex Vaticanus Palatinus gr. 126, has a number of notes in Greek and Latin, added by Atreides. A third complete copy, known as F = Codex Parisinus gr.2967, is itself a copy of V, which was begun by Eparchus and completed by Michael Demosine. V is undated. There is a fourth, but incomplete, manuscript known as M = Codex Mutinensis Gr. 179, which is a copy of play made by Andrea Damari between 1560 and 1586. Two of the manuscripts are now located in Bibliothéque Nationale in Paris, and the third is in the Vatican Library. The partial manuscript is in Medina. The Greek text in its entirety was published 7 times. The Editio Principes, which was based on V, was published in 1611 by Johannes Mursius, who gave it the Latin title by which it is now universally known, and which translates as on administering the empire. This edition was published 6 years later with no changes. The next edition belongs to the Ragusin Anselmo Banduri, which is a collated copy of the first edition, and manuscript P. Banduri's edition was reprinted twice. In 1729 in the Venetian collection of the Byzantine historians, and in 1864 Min republished Banduri's text with a few corrections.